Good morning to all traders and welcome to this week's last market insights video provided to you by Orbex. Of course, this is Stavros Tusios, Head of Investment Research. We are going to look at the FX majors today. It's a good opportunity since we're going to have actually end of week flows kicking in as well. So I will be very careful for today. We might see big reversals coming into the market, some profits taken out from shorts or even short covering as well. So we might see prices actually moving higher in the equities and other assets. I want to cover the euro dollar, the dollar yen, and also the pound dollar. We've talked to them about, I think it was on Monday, if not mistaken. We've seen actually the waves accurately projecting what happened in the market, since we now know actually what happened. We've seen confidence in the governments starting to having an effect. However, this effect is not always good for the currencies, right? So we've seen, for example, the QE from the ECB affecting the euro massively. We've seen the pound going down to 35-year-old lows following the BOE's interest rate cut decision, as well as, of course, the yesterday, if I'm mistaken, they took the rates down to 0.1. So they are all lower than the US. Now, the Australian dollar, you've seen that it's actually performing a bit worse than the others. I mean, if you see, they just actually cut down again yesterday and they matched the US interest rates, which is where they should be, to be honest. Now, the US QE, which is the RBNZ and RBA, are standing at 0.25. Are they going to go to zero soon? Well, we don't know, and I'll be honest, it doesn't really matter. What really matters now is that we need to see fiscal changes, minimizing the effects of the impact on the economic aspect. We need to see fiscal measures being taken in order to have a good response. And this is my opinion. Anyhow, back on the currencies, I want to start with the euro dollar. I'm looking at the bigger view, okay, over here, because this is going to give us a better picture as to where we're heading. With this volatility, actually doesn't even make sense to look at the hourly chart or anything else. So we've had impulse move, correction. It looks to me like we finished over here, up here, as we projected actually the expanding flat, and we're looking now to move lower. We were looking to move lower actually on Monday. We said about reaching this level over here, which is the intersection between price and descending trend line. We took out that level. We actually took out the 161 extension of waves, of the wave W and the wave X, okay, which comes to 106.65 or so. Now the question is, are we going to see more upside? Are we going to see prices actually reversing, or are we going to see more downside? Well, I'll be honest, I think that we've had the ABC here done, right? I don't believe that we're going to extend lower, because if that happens, it means that we have wave A here. We're likely to see an extension for wave, a short retracement for wave B, and then we're going to get wave W, which means in this scenario that we are potentially even looking to go down to the 100 Fibonacci extension, which is 101. So we're talking about unity with the dollar. Is this going to be the case? We do not know. In the short term, I see this coming up. I mean, it's overextended. It has to come up at some point, right? The other level will be the 1043, or let's just make it 105, to be honest. It's around, and it's a nice level to keep into consideration. Of course, this could be, I mean, if we look at it with a different eye, we could say that we've had an ABC over here, and then we're moving lower for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, correct? So this may not be part of wave W. We might have move to the downside that is more impulsive than what this formation suggests. Okay, so I would keep also an open mind for further downsides to complete the fifth wave, right? Because we've got 1, 2, 3, this could be 4 and 5. The 4 in this case would be some sort of sideways market. But I'm not really sure whether we should really be looking at rules and guidelines. Dollar yen, we compared the two last week, if I'm not mistaken, the dollar yen and the euro dollar. They had an inversely correlated pattern over here, an ABC here as well, which ended down here, which is an expanded flat. And then from there, we're looking for ABC. Okay, contrary to the dollar yen, I believe that we haven't yet completed wave A. I mean, this is what it is pretty much. We're gonna see B, and then we're gonna see C for W, then we're gonna get X and Y, because I see this in the longer term reaching new levels, okay? At least, multi-year highs also. Not to even say potentially we could get to somewhere near 117, right? And on the pound, actually, I had to go to the weekly chart to see what's really going on. And to be honest, I have identified a very nice triangle over here. And that changed my view a little bit. We've got ABC, 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 WXY, and then we're expecting wave A seems that is done. We're expecting B and C, right? Now, what this means is that once we're done with that button, right, with E, which seems to have more downside, right? And the downside could be, again, this descending trend line intersection. So we're looking at anywhere between 111.50 and like 109.64 or so. It could get us anywhere, right? If we assume A is done, now a correction, okay, either for wave 4, because this is 1, 2, right? Then we've got 3, 4, and 5 for wave A, but without taking this low, then B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or we could have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which means A ended here. But in either case, we're going to get an ABC. It's going to be either in the primary degree or in the intermediate degree. I don't see this going above 119, okay, in either case, because we have more downside to worry about. And given the situation currently, I would even be surprised if we see prices going up to 119. We came up to the 117.60. I mean, it's like 150 pips more. It's very likely to come into play. As I say, it's end of week today. We can expect prices to move higher in all currencies that have been dropping, and that includes all the majors.